upon the news of the resignation of its CEO Nick Badminton this week. Pick n Pay shares lost up to 1.2%, with up to 71 million shares traded. Pick n Pay announced on Wednesday, on the 8th of February, that CEO Nick Badminton would resign from the board of Pick n Pay, effective at the end of the financial year, but would be available to assist the company and its chairman in the transition period. So just another story where we're starting to see a shake-up in leadership, Paul.
Yes, this is true. But Pick n Pay, unfortunately, you know, in every cycle there's someone who's in the sweet spot and someone who's in the smelly spot. Pick n Pay has, for the last couple of years, been in the latter category, unfortunately. So they've been losing market share. They've been getting lots of, kind of bad press in respect of the labour situation, even though they're much nicer to their workers than Whitey Basson is at ShopRite. He was always terrible to the workers, but they all loved him and they never have any strikes. So go figure. But here we are, Pick n Pay, they're behind the curve in terms of distribution centres and all that stuff, apparently. They had the expensive...
They're implementing it now, though, so we're waiting to see how that's bedding down.
Unfortunately for them, it seems everybody else did it like a decade ago. But anyway, I mean, Australia wasn't so hot for them either. They bought that Franklin's thing, and then they're battling to get shot of it. It's also got the spectre of kind of family ownership. So everybody knows and loves Raymond Ackerman, but his kids, Gareth and them, they don't, Jonathan, for some reason anyway, people don't love them so much. But now, you know, we've got these operational managers. Anyway, it's now kind of in the nadir of its disaffection, its summer of discontent. Quite what happens to them going forward is unknown, though, because it could have well been a good strategy in the past to buy the worst big retailer in the space, because they'll normally recover. So cyclically, you would have done well to buy ShopRite when the stores back like a decade ago were so smelly nobody wanted to go into them. That was the moment to buy ShopRite. Maybe now's the time to buy Pick n Pay.
Okay, so Owen, I mean, point is that Badminton had actually started spearheading this restructuring that we're seeing. We've got the loyalty cards that have come to the fore. We know that the earnings over the past while haven't been that great, given the fact that they are putting a lot of money into the central distribution system. So we're seeing quite a few changes coming to the fore. And then just this announcement of this resignation, do you think that it is a bad omen with what we can expect going forward?
Look, I actually think the resignation came at a rather unfortunate time, in my view. Just remember, they had managed to clear the Australian hurdle they had in trying to get rid of Franklin's. And Nick has been around for quite a long time.
There's 32 years, in fact.
Exactly, that's a long time to be in a business. And he's spearheaded the group away from, changing the way these shops used to look, etc., changing the distribution networks, etc. And, this talk of them going into the rest of Africa as well, coming through now, I think it's unfortunate, because you now got a bigger competitor coming onto our shores. You got Massmart coming in. So from a management perspective, I think Pick n Pay is going to be challenged to say the least. But like Paul was just saying, it's like family business. Pride has got to come to the fray here. The guys are going to have to make sure they work harder to make sure Pick n Pay comes through properly. These changes they are doing, the strategic changes, their new distribution and their entry into Africa, they must make sure that this stuff comes right. And I don't think...
Do you think they can catch up to ShopRite, though, that has had such a strong strategy into the African continent?
Jeez, I mean, it's going to take a lot of work, really. It's going to take a lot of work. Probably they have to streamline their processes more than we think and understand. But ShopRite is definitely way ahead of Pick n Pay. It's going to be a lot of work they need to do, in my view. And from a trading perspective, I don't anticipate that you're going to continue to see Pick n Pay get sold off. Probably if the stock does go below $40, you'll see people coming in to buy it. It's easily a $50 stock in my view.
So hot or not then?
For me, it's hot.
Hot?
Yeah.
So not smelly like Paul was alluding to?
No, not smelly like Paul. I'm like Paul's stock.
Okay, so I mean, any stop loss on this, or was it a long-term buy?
Now look, like I said, if the stock does pull back again to anywhere near $40, you're gonna see quite a lot of volume come through. But I'm of the strong opinion that South African institutions have got faith in the business. So, anyway, if it comes off another 2%, I'll be getting involved. Or maybe I'll get worried if it does go, say, sub $37. Then I'll get worried. But I don't think there's enough negative news around at the moment to inspire the stock to come up.
I'm actually quite worried to ask you hot or not, but here I go. It's a big chance that I'm taking hot or not, Pick n Pay.
I was thinking it's kind of like the cashiers at the Killarney Pick n Pay where I go. Not hot. Not hot. Definitely not hot.